this out. I tell you something, it's not passing the MOT with tyres like that. This is to do with the Australian Grand Prix. Of course I would. Perhaps a bit of a fleeting amount of footage of the city, but there you go. Some. What I did do whilst I was there was try on all these fancy sunglasses and shoes just for a laugh. I really like these. Back to reality after the fun of the city. I've loaded up the trailer which I've attached to the mower with the various equipment that I'm going to need, minus the brush cutter which I'm about to grab, so that I could head down the drive and finish off the little bit of work that I'm doing down there, and then to do a little bit of work on the creek walk. So this is all coming to the end of Operation Get Ready for Summer, so I'm tying up the loose ends so that I can have my final bonfire which I'm accumulating here, and then hopefully it'll just be a case of maintaining what I've achieved and keeping my fingers crossed for the summer. Just to give you an idea, I've bashed my way down this path which is pretty overgrown, and this is what's facing me. So this is the creek walk path, but you can see how mental it's gone. Most of it's these regrowth pomaderris, which is a type of tree, a really nice tree. But yeah, I need to bash my way through this now. Let's see how that goes. Well, this is what I've removed. A pile of debris that is chest height on me. So let's go and see the difference it's made. Essentially, I've cleared this path, and then there's another network of paths on this side, which I've also tidied up, but they didn't need as much work. So this is the steeper of the paths. Our swimming pool is just there. Well, it's called the swimming pool, I wouldn't swim in it. And then you round the corner, and this is what I was showing you earlier. And that's how this path looks now. Very happy with that. It's sort of restored back to its former glory. And keeping in mind that the only tool I use to do this work is the brush cutter. So I can't recommend it highly enough. If, like me, you've got quite a large property with lots of maintenance jobs, ongoing maintenance jobs, the brush cutter's where it's at. It would have taken me days to do that with my other equipment if I would have been able to do it at all. Anyway, so I'm now stopping for lunch. That was a morning's work, and then after lunch I'm going to be dealing with this tree which sadly fell over during the winter. It's blocking the path. The path excuse me would go exactly where the tree is. So this is the path. There's also a little bit of tidying work to do down here. The path carries on there, so just one or two trees which are a bit more leaning over that I need to deal with. Get rid of so you don't have to duck. And I'm also thinking about dealing with these trees which have fallen over, because I'd quite like to put a bench here you might be able to just make out the creek tinkling below. So I thought if I could clear these, I could put a little bench there, and you've got a nice look out over the creek and then onto this side of the bank, which is also our property, but it's a part of the property that I just leave to get on with its best life. Anyway, that's my plans for this afternoon. Well, here we are, chimney cleaning time again. This is a bit of a before. What I've done here is moved all the stuff off the range and from beneath it and around it to give me a clean canvas from which to start. Then I set up the poles. It's a chilly morning, so it's actually quite difficult. And there we go. This is the brush all set up and ready to go. Pretty long, as you can see. Then I go and set up the ladder. This lives down at the potting shed, so I bring it up to the house and then set it up. Whilst Will's sweeping the chimney, I take the opportunity to give all the internal parts of the range a nice going over. They get all covered in ash and soot. So it's a good opportunity whilst it's cold. Look at that. Give it a brush. Ta-da! Then this is how I get all the stuff that comes out of the chimney out through this little hole. Once I've done that, I then am able to start giving the outside part of the range a nice clean. Dust, give it a wipe. Then I take the ironwork from inside it, the trays inside the oven, and I give those a clean too. Then once the range is dry, I then coat it in oil. I read that you're supposed to coat it in oil. It didn't say what sort of oil, so I just use cooking oil. Then I give the floor a sweep, I give the floor a mop. I set the fire, I light the fire. Then I start putting everything back. Then it's done for the quarter. See you again in 3 months' time. It's back. It was away getting all tarted up, ready to get its roadworthy certificate, as I mentioned, so that it's now available to be driven on the road at last. So it's got new license plates, it's got a new battery, new bits and pieces, new wheels, in fact not just new tyres. It's insured and it's all ready to go on the road, which means I can now remove the various bits and pieces of debris that I've been collating around the property to form what I hope to be one of my last, if not my last, debris bonfire before I move on to tidying up the leaves. That's phase 2 of getting the property ready. But I realised that I didn't update you last week on how the work down here at the creek walk went, so I thought we'll just head down here first thing. It'll also be good for me to have another look at it, see how it's looking. Yes, lovely, lovely. Path still intact. And where I left you last time was removing the trees which sadly decided to kill themselves over winter. They were here, so I removed those and reinstigated this footpath. I remember that I had mentioned that I was thinking about removing these trees in order to put a bench here, in order to take advantage of this nice view of the creek and the other side of our property on the other bank. But I had a rethink, and I might just stick to this. So I may well do that at a future date. I'm a big fan of benches. I'm hoping 2023 will be the summer of benches. But what I did instead was clear this little pocket here. Similarly, there were a few fallen pomaderris trees, so I removed those. And I wondered about this spot. What I like about this is that it's a little bit more secluded and you can't sort of see it so clearly from the path. You've got a better view here of the creek than if I sort of get down to bench height. You've got an equally nice view of the other side, but because of this cover I thought you might be more hidden and might get better wildlife sightings. So anyway, that's what I did. The final thing I have to do down here is I brought the brush cutter down to this point here where the paths converge or diverge depending on which direction you're coming. So you can either take this route or this route. I just now need to make sure the rest of the path which heads back up to the house is nice and passable, but it's not looking so bad. Anyway, time to load up the Brumby. Let's go this way. Time to load up the Brumby, take it all up to the bonfire pile, and then carry on working my way around.